I'm Hines from Premier West Baseball Club here in Denver, Colorado. We're talking today about some of the phases that we teach our young hitters and on our club team that we have that travels around the country nationally. We're going to talk today about your route and how you get from your route to the impact to the baseball. So I'm going to explain a couple things. In our last segment, we talked about getting to our launch position. So I'm going to start from there. Once the hitter's to his launch, okay, which means hands back, athletic position, knobs over our back foot, okay? The sequence of the swing from here becomes really important, okay? A lot of guys get off a little bit on this point when their hands start the action, or they've been taught to lead with their hands first, okay? We want to start every action with our hips, okay? It's very imperative that we get our hips open, okay? If you want maximum power in a swing, you have to get your hips completely open to hit the ball, okay? And the hips predominantly are a slow muscle, okay? So you're not going to be able to get your hips out of the way and cleared unless they're the first things to go. So the more hip speed that you can create, typically the more power you're going to have in your swing. It's going to create a whipping effect with your bat, okay? So I'll explain from there. So once we get to our launch, okay, or maybe even before, a hitter is going to start unloading the hips in that position, okay? Now, the most critical point that I watch when I watch film is if a hitter's hands stay behind their back knee as they're coming into the ball, okay? So this creates kind of a centrifugal force with my body, okay? One part of my body's going forward, the other's going back, okay? When that releases, that's going to create a whip and make my bat go really fast into the baseball, okay? So again, make sure on this phase that you understand that your hips lead the action, okay? If it's an inside pitch, your hips, belly button, your target line is going to be facing to shortstop. If I'm going to center field, my hips, belly button is going to be facing to center field. If I go to right field, I don't have to have as much turning of my hips, but my hips are still working effectively to get into that pitch, okay? I'm just not opening up as much because I've allowed the ball to travel a little bit. I'm still going to apply force to the ball, though, with the same technique with my hips leading the action.